What's going on, Jets fans? Welcome back to the channel. And today is the final mock draft Monday before the 2025 NFL draft. So, yes, you will be seeing this on Monday, April 21st. I hope you all had a happy Easter if you do celebrate. And the NFL draft is in 3+ days up until this point when you are watching this video. So, super exciting time. The way that I'm going to attack this final Jets mock draft now, this will be the final, no more on Twitter, no more anywhere else. This is the final one. This is the swan song of the 2025 draft for the New York Jets. I'm going to attack this as logically as possible. I know in mocks past, I have sprinkled in some of my own logic in there as well. I'm going to be thinking in this one like Darren Moogie, like Aaron Glenn. I'm going to try and sprinkle in some of those rumored players that they really, really like. It all depends on how the board falls, of course, but yeah, that's what we're going to try and do here. We're not going to try and make any crazy fantasy trades if someone's not there. We're really going to try and dig deep, see what we can do. I will probably be looking at trade downs, not saying that I won't because it's certainly on the table. We're going to look at this as logically as possible before the draft commences. So let's get to this first pick. All right, here we go. We are sitting at pick number 7 here. And this is the way that it's gone so far. Pretty standard issue for the most part. Any combination of these 6 players is probably going to be the way that it was going. Maybe not Shedeur, maybe someone like Will Campbell I would throw in instead of Shedeur. I kind of sort of expect him to be on the board by the time that the Jets are drafting. That is not the direction that I think that they will be going. So, even up to last week, we were going back and forth on Armand Membu or Tyler Warren. I think I've made my choice abundantly clear. Now let me get this straight before I make this choice. I would love both equally. I think both just fill a massive need for the Jets. On one side, you're solidifying a young, very, very talented offensive line, and you're also with Justin Fields with this three-headed monster at running back, you're probably going to be running the football a lot. You're probably looking at a 65-35 split in terms of percentages. So, yeah, that would be great. You're solidifying the offensive line. You drafted your left tackle of the future last year. You draft your right tackle of the future this year. Your bookend tackles should be set for the next 5 to 8, 5 to 10 years. Fortunately for the Armand Membu fans, I do think that the Membu pick makes a lot more sense because once you get into those mid to late round right tackle prospects, you're dropping off a cliff essentially in terms of potential, in terms of development ability. Membu is someone that I feel like you could plug and play day one. You're solidifying your offensive line. Warren is also someone you could plug and play, but I think here with the elite tight end class, this is probably one of the best tight end classes we've ever seen, and I will stand on that. I know everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, they haven't taken an NFL snap yet." What do you want me to do? I mean, all these players look fantastic. That's what I'm going to say. Of course, it's going to come down to how they play in the NFL. But I've made my choice clear here. I don't really like any of these trade downs either. I feel like even if we move back 3 spots with Ashton Jeanty off the board, I feel like either the Saints or the Bears could even potentially take. Well, the Bears don't really need a tackle, to be quite honest with you, a right tackle. I feel like the Saints would be primed to take Armand Membu here. So I am going to steer clear of a trade down here, even if it is minimal, and I am going to take Mr. Membu at number 7. All right, so we're sitting here at 42. I'm not totally in love with the way the board has fallen here. Omar Norman Lott is more of a pass rushing defensive tackle, in my opinion. Someone that I think would kind of clash with the style of Quinnen Williams. Really looking for that run plugger there. Kevin Winston Jr., I love. I just don't think, especially with the 1 year signing of Andre Cisco, I don't think Kevin Winston is the pick here at 42. As much as I love him and as much, if he's here at 73, I'll definitely consider taking him. I really think wide receiver is on the deck here at number 42. We've solidified our offensive line. There's a couple great wide receivers on the board here at number 42. And I'm looking at Jack Besh is really the guy that I'm looking at here just because Jaden Higgins is awesome. Don't get me wrong. I've chosen him a couple times in the past. I think Besh does really everything really well. He's a great blocker. He's a very, very tough competitor. He's really good in contested catch situations as well. And he could stretch the field. That is someone that I really feel like is an Aaron Glenn, Darren Moogie type of guy, someone that's going to dig his heels in and he is going to fight every single snap. He's going to be a great run blocker. He's going to be a great second level blocker. I really think that's the type of wide receiver that we're looking for here for the New York Jets to really open up that run game at the second level. You can't really expect much from Garrett Wilson, a wiry frame guy. Besh is someone that's, a little bit more sturdy, a little bit of a better blocking ability. I This rumor has picked up steam quite a bit, and I do like it. And I haven't, in any of my mock drafts, I haven't selected Jack Besh. So he's going to be my pick here at number 42. Could be unpopular, especially with some of the other guys on the board, but I really do think that he is a nitty gritty Aaron Glenn type of guy. And we're building a culture here at One Jets Drive, and I think Jack Besh fits that culture very, very well. All right, so we're going to actually make this trade here at number 73. We are going to move back 10 spots, and we're going to pick up a mid fourth round pick, and I believe 229 is the beginning of the seventh round. So a little bit more of a choice on the back end, maybe for like a kicker or an extra special teamer. And then really, this board is clogged up right now. There are a lot of needs that I feel like the Jets are really going to be looking for in those mid rounds. And I feel like picking up an extra pick here in the fourth round is just really, really vital. It's just 10 spots. There's a couple players on the board that I feel like won't be here. And I feel like trading down 10 spots will probably clear that up a little bit. But yeah, we're going to make this trade and see what we got at 83. All right, so our board has opened up a little bit here at number 83. So one thing I don't want to rule out is an early pass rusher. Femi Oladejo makes a lot of sense for the Jets here. Someone who is a good run defending defensive end, which is something that the Jets don't really have. They have that kind of sort of in Jermaine Johnson, but who knows how good he's going to be when he comes back. Will McDonald is basically a pass rush specialist. Michael Clemens, I want them to shoot to the sun. I don't want that guy on the roster when the season comes around. Andrew Makuba is a Aaron Glenn type of guy. Well, we already took a wide receiver. We don't really need to take someone like Jalen Royals here, but I think I'm going to go offense with 3 straight picks. It's not out of the realm of possibility. Terrence Ferguson is my guy in this class. I don't like using that term. I actually hate using that term, but he's just such a phenomenal overall player. He's a great receiving tight end, a really good blocker. He's got some great athleticism. I believe his RAS score was like in the high 9.6s or 9.7s. He's a fantastic player, 6'5", 255 pounds, someone that's just really, I think, can step in and automatically be your tight end one. Or, someone that could play inline, someone that could play in the slot. He'll complement Stone Smart well, as Smart as someone that's probably maybe a tad faster, someone that could probably run up the seam. Ferguson, I feel like, is going to be a really, really good every down tight end. And I know maybe 3 offensive picks in a row might be kind of crazy to some people, but they really do need it. And we did acquire 2 extra picks here, and we could use those on defense a little bit later. But Ferguson's still on the board, even with Femi Oladejo on the board, someone that I really, really like for the Jets. I think Ferguson makes a ton more sense here. All right, well, I didn't expect this at number 110. Femi Oladejo is still on the board here. I was saving this spot for Jamari Caldwell. Maybe, hopefully, he'll be there at 123 now that we picked up that extra fourth round pick. But yeah, I'm going to have to take Femi Oladejo here at number 110. I mean, 6'5", 250 pounds, an extremely good run defender. I think a 13.4 run stop rate, which was one of the top in the nation for the edge rushing. Sorry, for the edge rusher group. He's a fantastic player. I sing his praises a lot over the last few mock drafts I've done. He's been one of the players that I really, really lock in on. I think that he's a perfect fit in this defense, someone that could be a great rotational pass rusher, but someone that really can set the edge against the run. And I think that's what this defense really lacks. And like I said, it is a sneaky need, maybe even over defensive tackle with the free agent signings that the Jets have made for those 1-year stopgap players. But we'll try and get to that at the next pick here. We're going to take Femi Oladejo at number 110. At 123, Caldwell isn't here, but there is a great player in his own right still on the board here. Cameron Jackson is a player 6'6", 328 pounds, a fantastic run stopper. And again, that was the Achilles heel for the Jets defense last year. Well, that and missed tackling, but they just were not able to stop the run up the middle. And Jackson is a huge player who can rush the passer, but his primary money-making ability is stopping the run. A fantastic, I believe he earned at least a 76 PFF rating in the run defense department over his time in Florida. A really, really underrated player. Everyone Oh, I don't remember the guy's name. Desmond Watson. Everyone remembers Desmond Watson because he's like 460 pounds and plays college football for Florida. But Jackson was fantastic last season for Florida. Let's take a look if they actually do have his stats here real quick. Yeah, I mean, look at this: 80.9 run defense grade, 9.3 run stop rate for a huge defensive tackle. Give me that every day of the week. We're going to take him here at number 123. Yes, I'm very glad that Billy Bowman is here at number 145. That is the player that we are going to take. Another my guy player in this class. Bowman Jr. is I call him Bully Bowman. He is a big play waiting to happen. Whereas you're going to have Andre Cisco, who, is going to do a little bit of everything. Bowman Jr. can play that center field type of role. He is electric. 2 years removed from 3 interceptions returned for a touchdown at Oklahoma. A great tackler in his own right. A little bit of a smaller frame, I believe 5'10 or 5'11, like 195 or 200 pounds. But he really puts his all into those tackles, and he does make open field tackles very, very well. So I'm not really worried about the tackling here. That was a big issue for some of the other players that were on the board. But I think safety is a need that we could address a little bit later in the draft. And Bowman Jr. is just a fantastic overall player. If you haven't checked out his highlight tape, please do. The guy is electric. He plays a little bit too much of that all or nothing style sometimes, and I think that's what could be, a little bit of his downfall in the draft. While he'll be probably taken on day 3 as opposed to like late day 2. But Bowman Jr. is a fantastic player. I've sung his praises quite a bit in my early mock drafts, and we're going to get back to it today. I'm going to take Bully Bowman at 145. All right, at 162 here, if you want to take a look at our picks that we've made already, Armand Membu, Jack Besh, Terrence Ferguson, Femi Oladejo, Cameron Jackson, and Billy Bowman Jr. This is one of my favorite drafts I've done so far up until this point, and it's going to get even better here. I do think that interior offensive line is a massive need for the Jets to address for the future. I know that this is more of a now draft, it needs now, but the interior of the offensive line is going to be a huge need come this offseason. AVT needs a new deal. John Simpson's going to be coming in the last year of his 3-year deal. We need to get someone that could be ready to start right away if one of those guys walks. And that's going to be Dylan Fairchild here, a phenomenal player. That middle 3 of Jared Wilson, Dylan Fairchild, and Tate Ratledge, I feel like just didn't get enough love throughout this draft cycle. Fairchild is someone that I think is going to calmly slide under the radar throughout the entire draft and be selected on day 3 and then wind up being like a starter in the NFL for the next 10 to 12 years. It's a fantastic overall player, just really, really good, both run blocking, pass blocking, got great anchor ability. He's someone that I feel like if needed, you could plug and play, and you're going to forget about him for the next at least the next 5 years. A fantastic overall player. I can't believe he's never fallen this far to me here in the PFF mock drafts, and I'm going to take him here. At 186, Robert Longerbeam is a player that the Jets have been quite enamored with throughout this pre-draft process. I feel like if he is available during one of their later day 3 picks, I feel like he is absolutely going to be in green and white next year. Longerbeam is a player that has some really great traits, some really great teach tape in terms of being able to get in the way of those passes, knock them down, intercept them, just rip the ball out of the wide receiver's hands. He's got some really great plays on his resume. A little bit of an older prospect, 24 years old, but I don't think that they're going to ask him to come in and be a starter right away. He's someone that's probably going to take that Brandon Eccles role, just come in when needed and just make plays. And that's what I think Longerbeam can become, and I think he would be a steal at 186. At 207, Craig Woodson is going to be my pick. This is a player that I feel like has just really been slept on throughout the entire draft process here. And I hope you guys aren't thinking that I'm just in the in the business of trying to get these steal players. I just think that these guys are great. I don't know why they're still on the board. And I'm going to take him. Great run defender, great tackler, great ball skills. He really, when everyone's looking at Noel Williams in that California Bears defense, I'm looking at Craig Woodson. Now, Williams had a great season in his own right, 7 interceptions. He was fantastic. Woodson had 3 interceptions, just a dog of a tackler as well. Great size, 6 foot, 205 pounds, can really play that rotational safety role quite well. I know we did get Bully Bowman not that long ago, but we're going to double down on the safety position, and we're going to take Craig Woodson. All right, with our extra pick here at 229 here in the 7th round, we're going to take Andres Borregales. Just get Greg the Legs Zerline off my team, please. For the love of God, get that guy off the team. There's no need for him to be there anymore. They could save money in cutting him. Just get. I know everyone's draft a kicker. You know what? I'd rather draft someone that's going to play right away at pick number 229 than someone that's going to be on the practice squad or a special teamer. Well, a gunner or something like that. But Borregales is someone that's got a massive leg, fairly accurate at the collegiate level. Just get him over here so we can get that guy off our team. I mean, really. All right, and there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. This is probably one of the best graded classes I've had. And it's funny that it's the last one too. That is really funny, actually. So we're going to take a look at it just in case you guys skipped to the end of the video. Armand Membu was our pick at number 7. Jack Besh was our pick at 42. We then traded down 10 spots to pick up a 4th and a 7th round pick. We took Terrence Ferguson at number 83. We took Femi Oladejo at 110. Cameron Jackson at 123. Bully Bowman at 145. Dylan Fairchild at 162. 186, we took Robert Longerbeam. 207, we took Craig Woodson. And then we took Andres Borregales, a new kicker finally for the Jets at 229. Thank you guys so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And let's hope the Jets don't fuck up the draft.